Welcome Dr. Ash Pachauri, co-founder of the Protect Our Planet movement, advancing the legacy of Dr. R.K. Pachauri, former chairman of the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and the 2007 Nobel Peace Prize co-laureate. So let's welcome to the stage Dr. Ash Pachauri.
Good morning. Good morning, my family. I stand before you today with folded hands and a plea that you make a choice, a meaningful choice. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, one choice can change a life. One life can change a community. One community can change a nation. And one generation can change the world. It is my profound honor and deeply grateful to be here today with you as we celebrate 25 years of Youth for Human Rights International. Dr. Mary Shuttleworth, thank you for your relentless pursuit of human dignity and education for human rights for a quarter of a century and more. For teaching us that every child that is born with human dignity. Today, my dearest family, we're at a critical juncture historically. As we face global conflict to the extent that we challenge what we have faced since World War II. We face 117 million people displaced as a consequence of conflict, persecution, violence. And this number will continue to rise on account of climate change to 1.2 billion by the year 2050. And at the same time, the World Health Organization tells us that 75% of infectious diseases today are zoonotic, which means that they jump from animal to human, not for any other reason than the fact that we, through human activity, are destroying natural habitat of animals, where animals have lived in harmony with ecosystems historically, but now with closer proximity, we are at greater risk of such disease. I would like to bring to the fore that planetary health, public health, human rights, peace, these are not separate conversations. They are one. And I take the privilege of seeking your permission to share a story of someone I call Amina. Amina reflects the lived experience of numerous women and girls around the world today. Amina was faced with an epidemic in her village that was already fraught with ecosystem degradation, with conflict, with hunger. And she, within a few weeks, lost her parents. I just want to remind us, most of us in this room have lived through the COVID pandemic. The pandemic was not just about disease. It was about hunger. It was about hopelessness. It was about joblessness, about trauma. Similarly, Amina and her neighbors faced similar problems. Being the oldest of the siblings, she had to venture out to get her younger siblings food and water. So she would set out at 3 o'clock in the morning. On the first day that she set out, she was sexually assaulted. This happened to her day after day after day. And in a matter of weeks, she was found to be living with HIV. Under normal circumstances, everybody here would say, yeah, we understand Amina would give up. But guess what? Do we know what Amina did? Amina said, hey, what can I do to make sure others don't face these circumstances? So she got up and she mobilized her community. And she mobilized other women and girls. She got together and set up a federation. She became the president of this federation. They started to educate children. They set up community gardens. They set up community kitchens. Very soon, the government joined them. The media started to amplify their stories. Where they were typically pushed to the peripheries of society, suddenly they were up front and center in making decisions that impacted their own community. What did Amina choose? She chose education. She chose climate resilience. She chose to educate herself about human rights and public health. She chose to help her community not just survive, but thrive. 10 years ago, my family, with my father's, just to ask, I had 10 minutes, I thought? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. 10 years ago, with my father's vision, he won the Nobel Peace Prize together with the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. He set up, together with myself and the rest of our global family, something called the POP movement, where POP stands for Protect Our Planet. The idea being that we mobilize the 1.8 billion youth of the world to take knowledge-inspired action to protect our planet. Today, our global family is 3.1 million large. We're working in 129 countries with over 500 partners. And young people are leading projects just like Amina, which are making a difference to their communities on the ground. Yet, my family, I don't want you to think of the POP movement in metrics such as this. I want you to think of the POP movement and its story like Amina's. Because Amina's story creates ripples that go way beyond Amina's generation. I'd also like you to think about Yemen. Yemen contributes a fraction of carbon emissions compared to many countries around the world that are contributing huge amounts of carbon emissions. And yet, Yemen is on the forefront of conflict, of hunger, of trauma, of water scarcity, and displacement. So climate justice is not just an environmental issue. Climate justice is a human rights issue. Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon with which we can change the world. I ask you today to think one step further. Education is humanity's greatest investment in peace. Peace cannot flourish where people are hungry. Peace cannot flourish where women and girls live in fear. Peace cannot flourish where we do not respect human dignity, where people live in trauma, where young people are left hopeless. So today, I ask you to leave with only one thing. If you take away one thing from today, it is to remember Amina, not for what she went through, but for what she chose. History rarely changes because of extraordinary people. History changes, my friends, because ordinary people do extraordinary things. Today, I ask you to have the audacity to choose. Choose empowerment. Have the audacity to choose education. The audacity to believe that one choice can change a life. One life can change a community. And one community can change the world. Like Dr. Mary Shuttleworth has fought for many years to tell us, human rights are not about declarations. Human rights are protected by educated minds, by courageous hands and compassionate hearts. Because peace is not inherited. Peace is educated. So today, my beautiful family, with folded hands, I plead for you to make a choice. Thank you.